Connie Pombo, she remembers the day well. The day she screams for her husband to come to the back bedroom. He runs in there, and Connie is holding a glass perfume bottle in her hands, and she's surrounded by shards of broken glass everywhere, and she's just visibly upset. He asked her what happened, to which she said she was just holding the bottle, and clumsily it fell out of her hands. When it did, it fell on top of the glass top dresser and completely shattered the whole thing. As Mark begins to clean it up, Connie's crying, upset still, and she asks him, Mark, what are we going to do? Now, you may be thinking, it's just some broken glass. I mean, yeah, that's upsetting. But the reason being why it was so upsetting is because this wasn't their house. They didn't own anything in it. And the glass top dresser, it was an actual antique, an heirloom that belonged to the actual homeowners. Connie and Mark, they were just house sitting for an old retired couple who were out of town in Florida, and they had agreed to let Connie and Mark stay there. They were waiting for their departure date to Sicily because they were missionaries. So that's what they did. So due to that, they didn't have money. They had sold everything, their home, given job notices, all that stuff previously so that they could actually do the missionary work. To replace something of this magnitude, it would be so pricey, something they just didn't have money for. Mark could see how upset his wife was, so he suggests that they pray about this dilemma, and so they do. But also it's worth to note that it's not just the fact that it wasn't their house. These owners were very, very strict. Before they left town, they even gave Connie and Mark a don't do list, and it was long. I mean, no messes, no kids, no pets. I mean, on and on and on. That's how strict they were. I mean, they weren't even allowed to wear shoes or socks or bare feet. They had been provided these special little booty slipper type things that they had to wear constantly in the home because the home also had wall-to-wall white carpet. So you can just imagine these things, like why it was so stressful and upsetting to Connie. Both knew it had to be replaced. The question was how. Mark goes that Saturday to the local hardware store because he wants to get an estimate of what is this going to cost us. He returns and has a tiny slip of paper in his hands, gives it to Connie. She reads it and her eyes are like, $168? Where are we going to get that? You see, because this happened well over 30 years ago, so $168, that's a lot now, in my opinion. But that was really a lot of money 30 plus years ago. Her husband, he calms Connie down eventually and he says, what we have to do? We have to phone the Johnsons. We have to let them know what happened. Connie agrees. She knows that's what they need to do, but she kind of stalls and puts it off because she tells her husband, she's like, well, let's pray overnight. Let's pray a little bit more about it. And then before we, break the news to them. So Mark agrees and says, okay, that's fine. But tomorrow, after the sermon, after church, we have to make the call. So they both agree. And that night they go to bed, but neither get any sleep. They go to church the next day, sit in the sermon, just the two of them. They don't converse with anybody else. In fact, they skip the church picnic that was after the sermon, and they walk home in silence because both are dreading having to make this phone call. Connie kind of brainstorms as they're walking back, and she's thinking, maybe I can make muffins. I can bake those and I can sell them. And maybe, Mark, you could mow other people's lawns. We could collect the money that way so we don't have to tell the Johnsons. But there's a problem with that because they had made pancakes for dinner the previous night and they used the last bit of flour that they had. So baking muffins and selling them was off the table, and they had no gas left for the lawnmower. So mowing lawns was also off the table. As they walk up to the porch, Connie says it was like walking into a jail cell instead of a home. I mean, that's how much dread and how much she wanted to put this off. Mark walks straight to the phone because he's just let's do it. Let's go ahead, get it done. And Connie says, yep, all right, let me get their phone number. It's inside my purse. So she opens up her purse. She starts searching for it. And while she's searching for the business card that had the Johnsons' phone number, she sees at the bottom of her purse like a small white envelope. And it wasn't sealed. So she reaches for it. She opens it. She sees a flash of green. It was money, and lots of it. She begins counting it out. Most were $20 bills, and there was well over $168 in that envelope. Where did it come from? No one knows. But she yells at Mark, and she says, oh my gosh, Mark, look, it's here. All $168. It was definitely a miracle. And it turns out they did not have to call the Johnsons after all, because now they had the money to replace the glass top dresser. Did you know it's been well over 30 years, as I said earlier, since that day? And it still remains a mystery. They still don't know how that envelope got in there. Again, they sat near no one. They talked to no one that day. Connie had her purse with her the whole time. It was just a miracle that God provided them. Connie talks about it in the story. She talks about, even though mine and Mark's faith was lacking, God still came through and provided what they needed. The couple did finally fly off to Sicily to missionary over that way. And when they did leave, they left with all debts paid. Connie with a quote at the end, of course. She says, how comforting to know that there are angels among us, and some of them are even assigned to help us replace glass. End quote. Isn't that really cool? Such a cool story of provision when something was needed, and here comes God. And it's a mystery, but it's magnificent. I hope this story blessed you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful week. And thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for all that you guys do, your prayers, everything. I will see you guys for the next one.